About a debate. After all, the people who have won elections never appeared in any debate.
Absolutely. That is very crucial. That's very crucial. What is the essence of the debate? I've asked that question because the people, they deserve the leadership that they get. The leadership come from the citizens. They come out of us, and we know in this country, we've known that for many years, that we have leadership problem. But if you know that beyond that, we now have citizens problem. We have followership problem right now. Because think about it. You just mentioned the Keyamo and all that, and the lame argument and crippled argument that is put forth and all that. Many years, if anybody tell you that Keyamo will make that kind of statement or even join a campaign for Buhari, you will never believe it. But that's how that you just have these citizens being thrown up from amongst us, or thrown out from among us. But the reason I mentioned the Obi example and the Prof example is because, look, the question I thought that I would be asked as soon as I enter this studio is, what is the essence of this election? After this election, what next? We're just going to go back to the same crisis, agitation, and you have all this polarization and another round of quarrel and all that and all. That's what we're going back to. So I think that we're burying our heads in the sand. We have had an election in 2011. We had in 2015. We're having another one in the next few weeks. Look, we need to get up and tell ourselves the home truth. We need to have a country first. So if I stood there as a citizen of Nigeria, I can come from Kaduna State and stand on that podium. I will be saying, look, we need to have a country first. The reason I mentioned those two individuals is because are they saying that the Boko Haram issue is not something to be attended to? Are they saying that what is going on in Zamfara is not something to be attended to? Are they saying that what is going on in Niger Delta is not something to be attended to? I just use that as an example because you have two people who should show affinity to the agitation of IPOD. And the reason I mention it is because we have constantly ignored our prophets, maybe because they do not serve in the ecclesiastic office. Chinua Achebe, as far as I'm concerned, lived in his time and had left things that we can refer to. He told us in his book, he said, there is no doubt at all that there is a strand in contemporary Igbo behavior that can offend by its noisy exhibitionism and disregard for humility and quietness. This is the only offense the Igbo man has committed and continues to commit in this country. What I just read to you now. Now, how has he been dealt with? This is how he's been dealt with. The ploy in the Nigerian contest was simple and crude. Get the achievers out and replace them with less qualified individuals from the desired ethnic background so as to gain access to the resources of the state. The bizarre government strategy transformed the federal civil service, corporations and universities into centers for ethnic bigotry, petty squabbles. It was in this toxic environment that Professor Enyi Nwoko, an Igbo who was Vice Chancellor of the University of Lagos, was forced out of office. And exacerbated Kenneth Onwukadike, an ethnic Igbo and the Vice Chancellor of the University of Ibadan, facing similar bouts of tribal small-mindedness, famously lamented during the crisis that intellectuals were the worst peddlers of tribalism. This is the problem that was written how many years ago? As I speak to you, that's still what is going on. And that is what those young people, maybe they are not able to articulate it the way it was written here, but that is what is going on. We need to resolve this thing. So, I can only say my own bit because of the opportunity that I have to say that. But we are conducting election with what effect, at what cost, and what consequence after.
All right, but let's talk.